Hi, my name is Gung, and welcome you all to our presentation today. This is Group 33. We're here because we love to give presentations. This is Linh, and this is Quoc Huy, who are my teammates today. In our modern life, the word information is being used in many different aspects. It appears all over the place. All of us are studying and working with the great help of information technology. But do you know what the word information actually means?
Yeah, I could see in Oxford's Learner Dictionaries is a very trustworthy and well-known dictionary. So information is fact, truth, news, or details about somebody or something. By the definitions, we could easily see information around us.
Information appears everywhere in this universe, from smallest to the biggest things that you ever know. Information define what they are. Sound a bit contradictory, right? Information define who we are, but we use the dictionary which made by human to define what information is. But it's not that complicated. Just calm down. In fact, we can understand information as what we know about something.
Yeah, I've read an article by Andrew de Madam from the University of Sheffield, with the title is A Definition of Information. And in that article, Andrew defined information as a stimulus organizing in one system that affects the interpretation by another system, or either the second system's relationship to the first or of the relationship the two systems share with a given environment.
The last part is just about the definition of information. Is either simple or complicated to understand. So now we come to the next part, which is easier to catch up with. As you can see, I'm using a computer to record the presentations or record all the information displayed. We all know that computer process information inside the processor, but not everyone know how a computer process information.
Okay, let me tell you this. The first thing that needs to be done is the first step. When the user make command to open a program, the CPU receives this request and processes it. The CPU then retrieves the desired program by accessing memory for the program's location. Each program has a program counter number. This is roadmaps that the CPU uses to locate the program and get further instruction from the program. Decode is the next phase of process. When a CPU fetches a program, it doesn't see on of the pretty graphical aspect that we see. Only see its programming code. This code must be deciphered into a language that the CPU understands. There are literally hundreds of different programming languages that programmers use to write software programs. The CPU must first decide what language the program is written in, and then decode it so that it understands the instructions that are held inside the code.
The decode process is another list of steps. The CPU breaks down the code so that it is manageable. The parts that the CPU deal with are the only ones that directly communicate with it. The opcode indicates the numerical order of code. It used to figure out the order in which the code must be executed. There are times when a CPU can't interpret the code on its own, so it uses a translator called a microprogram. Once the microprogram has interpreted the code, it sends the instruction back to the CPU in a language that it understands. Next is the execute stage. After finding the numerical order of the instructions in the code, the CPU is now ready to execute them in order. The program is loaded and made ready for user. Starting at step 1 are the components necessary for the program to run efficiently. This loads using the opcodes and microprograms if necessary.
Yeah, and the write back phase is the final one. During each of the previous steps, the CPU records feedback on the process. This is necessary if there were problems during one of the steps. Even if everything is loaded successfully, the CPU writes the status back into the memory that calls successful or success. And an example of this is when an error causes Windows to not start properly. After the computer is restarted, the CPU writes the error to the memory, and when the program loads again, the CPU pulls up the feedback from the last attempts and displays a message to the user on the screen. So that is how a computer processes information, by following predefined steps and instructions inside programming code using the CPU. And that's how CPU process information. These phases bring us a new universe, a new era, the age of information technology. Now we come to the last part of this presentation. Nah, I'm just kidding. The next part is information the foundation of reality is waiting ahead. And this is the end of our presentation today. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.